blocker on kick return.
Right.
I'm one of,
You did two the last game, right? Kickoff returns, or I'll go kickoff teams.
kickoff there. But I mean, in Wednesday, they're one of their
Look at
favorite
this.
lead blockers, but, I don't.
Now, are you still playing in the women's league
What am I
as
doing?
well?
I
Listen,
would
no,
be if I wasn't
look at
playing
that.
here.
Okay, all right.
But,
Look at this,
Okay,
I mean,
Very good angle.
They wouldn't let me do that.
Gotcha.
They would be mad.
okay.
Got James Donkenhurst.
Are you still,
You've been doing the talk show circuit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yes, a little bit.
Burn out yet on it?
But
Find
here's
out.
the opposing coach from the team, one of the opposing coaches from the team last night. I mean, that's what is so exciting to me. Like,
right?
Well,
it's, I mean, you've got a great story, obviously, and so, yeah, I think the latest blog was written, I mean, and it was funny, you got Jackie Robinson, I mean, and I don't mean to, are you Jackie Robinson? No, you're not Jackie Robinson, but 20 years from now, you look at something like this, it's gonna be pretty crazy.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's all in, like I said, it's all in the story. When I was talking to, this was actually one of my buddies that I went to high school. He does a radio show down there that's on ESPN radio. And, I said, it's pretty amazing when you can have somebody go in and like the opposing coaches are like saying, hey, good job, like glad
Right.
to have you. And yet, I carry the ball, get blasted twice. And when we go for a play fake, which was on the ground.
Right, I heard
They
that.
booed.
Yeah, because they want to see you.
Right.
They want to see history.
And I was like, I didn't hear it, but people told me later, they're like, do you know that they booed? And I was like, why? That's the smart play.
Right, exactly. Absolutely. Well, that's
I was at both games.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that play. You scored, I cheered.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
And nobody even talks
What
about
do you-
that play.
Right.
Have you heard anything from Southland?
He sent an email earlier in the week, said
But,
he's coming.
like to get a picture from the
Check.
coach who was like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Oh, I'm gonna send you this pic that we just took.
It should be,
Did you put it on your?
it should be great interview for his TV show.
Oh. What's up, Paul? Okay.
What's your?
972, 743, 49,
All right, cool. All right. Paul's on the way up. Get the security guard this time. Over up on anybody.
Yeah, I thought she wanted to escort you out the building.
Right.
She was like, yeah, I don't know you.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
right.
It's like, I'm here every Saturday
And I was like, ooh.
at the same time.
Yeah, I was laughing, big boo. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's the smart
Okay.
play.
So how do you want me to just kick it to you,
To me.
get it started?
Yeah,
And then we'll just roll it right from there?
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's
We've
cool.
been over there asking our own questions.
Oh, yeah. No, Jen and I are gonna be best friends.
We don't have anything, we don't script anything.
That's good.
No, we downstairs where you found us,
Yeah.
that's when we're down there kind of deciding what we're doing, and even then it doesn't,
Yeah, but that's better.
We talk about something else anyways.
Some of the ones where they try, like where they scripted, I'm like, you're making me nervous.
Yeah.
Like, it's my story, I know the stuff,
That's
and
it.
you're making me nervous.
oh
Exactly.
no, but it doesn't matter what we're doing, we don't script anything. It makes
These
no
are your
difference.
talking points, I'm like, ah.
Last
okay,
show was
talking
funny.
Oh, yeah, last
It
year was
was,
great.
Yeah, I had to call in on the last show and
well, you had to settle us down.
settle them down.
I'm gonna send you that picture.
Okay.
Will you put that up on our Twitter?
It's just as well that Jen isn't coming, because we would be all confused, there's no way.
Exactly.
Jen, Jen.
The other
Jen
Jen.
and Jen.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
right.
an actress model that is on our show.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna send you 2 photos.
Okay.
Or well, I just sent you one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm sending Joel.
I wonder if Jamie and the TV station with the whole Texas, what did I tell you it was, the Texas Independence Day deal, Friday?
Yeah.
I wonder if they reached out to Tommy and Tim and them about doing anything.
Look who I found.
Yeah, look
What's
what we
up,
found.
Paul?
How's it going? You guys doing all
They
right?
let you back in the country,
They did.
check you for SARS and everything.
They didn't check close enough. I still got it.
Yes, I got an award. Woo!
I snuck the
Oh,
star.
No, him.
Oh, yeah. I was like, good.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to write it down.
Yeah.
Hi, we haven't met before. I'm Paul Southman.
Hi, Paul, Jen Welter, nice to meet you.
Paul Southman of Inside Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can,
Congratulations. I
Thanks.
saw the billboard pics.
I can finally talk about it if you guys want to.
Very
It's
cool.
official.
You got your own billboard.
That's
I know,
weird.
right?
Because your head's not big enough.
It's in the hood.
Dude, that
It is in the
whoa.
hood. That's why I didn't see it in person.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What were you were afraid somebody had to do a drive-by sighting for
Yeah.
you?
Actually,
You
that
know,
was funny. So I pulled over to take pictures of it, and I'm like this, and the homeless guy's looking at me, and he's looking at the billboard.
You're like, yeah, man, that's my face.
I know you.
In your face,
And
man, in your face.
You got any change?
No.
No,
I
I'm only
spent it
on
all
a
on
billboard,
billboard.
dude.
I thought that's pretty cool. No.
No, give me some money.
Yeah.
I know who you are, man. I'll remember your face. I see it on a billboard.
40.
Oh, okay.
Only if I get to shout out with you. Hey, hey, I'll tip. You better tip some for me. I'll buy you one.
Jim, this show's gonna go left real quick, you know that,
Yeah, I
don't
know.
you? Okay.
And there's
Good,
no-
I don't know.
3
it's-
weeks in
you
a
know,
row.
Whatever you
We'll
count
be
on.
like, what is it, the model one, Zoolander, where you can only turn left?
Oh, yeah. It just keeps going around. That's
Can't
it.
turn the other way.
Then I was just on my cruise, and that was all a lot of fun. I've never been on a cruise before, so.
We shouldn't get shipwrecked like the.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, how horrible.
You know what's so funny? I was asking about that because it does happen. I was like, so what happens if an outbreak happens? And they were real nonchalant about it. They're like, well, it does happen. You're in a little contained tube, and if someone, remember that form we had you fill out saying you haven't been sick, haven't been caught, all that stuff. But people lie, and then they get on the boat, and then it just happens. I go, okay, but most of all, I gotta know what happens if someone expires.
We gotta be getting ready to get on here.
Because it's all like old people.
How long we got?
Listen, you got sharks in the water. Handle that.
Yeah. Bed sheet, off
Punch
the
them in the
end.
nose, right? That's the.
Oh, okay. La 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 la. There we go.
Really, we're singing today? My voice
Gotta
sounds
clear the
sorry.
pipes.
Yeah.
I always lose my voice in games. It's just inevitable.
So glad to see you again.
Is that your radio voice?
It is.
Is that what you got the SARS award for?
That's one of them.
I'm retarded Yoda.
Paul, it's good to see you, man.
You're Yoda who took in some helium, like,
I've been dropped on my hair.
I love that we have in common.
Yeah.
My son is 1 for 2
Dr.
now.
Jennifer Welter.
Let's say Jen, because I was only
Dr.
Jennifer
Jen.
as a kid when I was in big trouble.
I saw you were Jenny whenever your dad was talking.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Where's our other Jen? Is she coming?
No.
Okay.
My sister will call me
I know
Jen.
she's fashionably
That's
running
cool.
down the
I will
road.
Jennifer.
No, she
Right
has,
for you.
she texted me, she had her kid this weekend,
But she
and,
Or I call her Jen.
Yeah, I was
She
only
said,
Jennifer
you
when I
know,
was in trouble, so
because-
I'd pass on.
I mean,
that.
up until.
Yeah, you get that. Jennifer,
Well, didn't you have a middle name too?
oh, I never
Yeah.
got the middle name, 'cause I didn't like it.
2 seconds.
Oh. All right.
Thanks
Here we go.
Thanks for the time.
Slap. Bam, get going.
That's funny.
That is true. Can't hear my
Welcome to the Automotive News and Entertainment
Sue,
Show
I am going to introduce you.
with
so
your
get
host,
close to the mic.
Jim Proctor. For the next hour, automotive news, reviews, and celebrity interviews. And now, here's your host, Jim Proctor.
Good morning, North Texas, and welcome to another edition of the AnE Show. Right here, I'm joined with the crew this morning. We have Joel the Gorilla.
What up?
The coolest guy in Dallas, Paul Southon.
Hi there.
We have the Shoe.
Howdy, howdy, Dallas.
We have the Spin Doctor, James Schaefer.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, God.
Always a shout-out.
She's going to cry.
Hey, my mom gave birth to me and cooked a ton of meals. She can cry, and I'll say happy birthday all day long.
We'll all say hi. Hi,
Happy
Mom.
birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the Spin Doctor's mama.
Mom, I'll tell you who all those people are in just a little bit.
And the gorilla will be popping out of a cake just for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That sounds awesome.
Now she's getting excited.
There we go. And we're joined this morning by Dr. Jen Welter. Good morning, Jen.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
You know, when we first booked Dr. Jen, I was thinking she was going to come up here because she has a PhD in psychology. And I think that that's something that we all need some help with. But, of course, I think we're really needing Dr. Phil to come on and fix us. But Jen is a member of the Texas Revolution, the indoor football league that plays here in Allen, Texas. And she is the first professional contact female football player. It's a pleasure to have you, Jen. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, guys. My pleasure.
So she can kick our butts and tell us what's wrong with us.
Yeah.
Well, I can make you feel better about it afterwards.
Oh, good.
You know,
Okay.
And
oh, you
tell
got
us
hit by
why.
a girl. Okay, I can fix you with that. I can take your manhood away, and then I can give it right back.
Thank you. I've actually already had my man card taken away for,
But then they put it up on a billboard, so you've got that going.
That's
I mean,
true.
you can always get your man card back because you can be like, man, I have a billboard.
in the hood.
You don't have to throw that in there. We don't need qualifiers here.
That's all right.
Paul,
Have a
exactly.
billboard.
Okay. And what they're talking about is Paul's got a new venture, Inside Entertainment, and they've put your ugly mug up on a billboard. Exactly where is this billboard?
It's at 30 and Peak right near Fair Park. And I couldn't be more excited. It was kind of really, really weird at first because I was like, okay, I got to see this. And I was driving down the highway, and I was going, okay, it's got to be one. Oh, wow, there it is. And it was before I could focus on which billboard it was. And it's kind of funny. So basically, it's just myself and Bree Crum, my co-host and co-founder of the show. It's a brand new TV show that's on KTXD starting March 7th, and it's going to be on every Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. and every Saturday at 11 p.m. It's going to be all entertainment, all about Texas, and there's never been a show like this, so they're taking a chance on us, so we're really happy, and I hope I don't screw it up. And hey, it's kind of cool to see an ugly white guy on a billboard, huh?
Hey, that's what I call in your face right there. Billboard in your face.
Paul, I'm a little disappointed about the picture, though, that they put up there. Why didn't they put the one with the hairy chest and pointing out at everybody? Why didn't they put that one?
Well, actually, whoever's Photoshop skills on this team I should have had them do the billboard because that's pretty impressive. In fact, I think that we should have one of ours on a billboard because those are just so ridiculous that I think people would be like, what? You know, the billboard, you get stuck in traffic and you're looking up and here's some dentist, here's some lawyer that can help you, whatever. We got to have like the gorilla and explosions and whatever else we've had in the background. That'd be fun.
It's all real.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Superheroes, you name it.
Yeah.
You saved those Corvettes.
I did. I was lifting up a Corvette the other day, last week, mind you.
Didn't you punch a shark?
I will.
Okay, great.
Where is that stupid shark?
Don't
I'll
tell
find
Peter.
him.
I like it. Dun, 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 dun,
It's kind of nice to be a superhero, right?
I wake up every day saying that.
All right,
In your underoos.
All right, back on track. Off track already. Hey, Jen, give us a little insight into your story. It's a very interesting story, and I know a lot of people have been talking about it lately. And give us a little insight in your background and how you got to where you are today.
Wow, I could take you through like 36 years of my life, and I know you're never supposed to ask a woman that, but since my stats are published everywhere at this point, I have nothing to hide.
I mean, they publish your weight, your height. She's 5'2".
I'm surprised they haven't put my bra size, but that's not hard to guess. It's not big. It's okay. I mean, I really do. I'm like, okay, they know everything. Awkward moment. I mean, wow. Like everybody's like, oh, so you're 5'2", 130. I'm like, oh, awesome. But, I don't mind that to an extent because I like people seeing how undersized I am because it really does kind of show you can do anything, even play professional men's football as a 5'2" female. But, I grew up in a small town where football was a religion like it is here in Texas. And I grew up loving the game, never had the opportunity. Played rugby in college because that was as close as I could get to football. Learned how to tackle with no pads and no helmets. So obviously I'm insane. So I had to study psychology to later fix myself. I'm still working on that process. But I like my brand of crazy. I tend to keep it with me. Then when I transitioned to football, I was kind of fearless because I learned how to tackle with no pads and no helmet. And so now all of a sudden I was like, wow, I have to do the same thing. And I have like gear. This is great. And that I believe has gotten me through my 13-year career playing women's professional football, in which I've had 4 Super Bowl equivalent national champions. And, I say that because we used to call it like a world championship. And then when you play and represent your country, like in world games, you can't say that anymore. So it's like, awkward. The rings even say world championships. And I was like, but we didn't play the world. I have played the world, but not in those rings. So I played overseas twice, in 2010 in Sweden and in 2013 in Finland, where I was a part of a gold medal team each time for Team USA. And then just recently, the boys called me up and asked if I would like to play with them. And that's where the story really kind of takes this turn. The Texas Revs called me, and originally they asked if I would be interested in going through a day of training camp. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, no, that's no. And the marketing minds, I like to say, kind of looked at me like, what do you mean no? No one says no to professional football teams. And I was just like, it doesn't respect me as an athlete. I just represented our country. I'm not going to come out and just like run through a couple football drills with you. I've done this for 13 years. And I said, and if I was the guys, I would really hate that. Like I would just, just who is this girl and why is she running through like a drill with us and getting pictures taken? Get out of here. And I told them, I said, either I do this like the boys, everything that the boys are doing, or I don't do it at all. And it was that at that point that I like to say Coach Chris Williams went from studying his playbook, which I don't think had any plays in it yet. He was just awkwardly putting his head down and trying to be anywhere but that meeting. And then looked up and kind of nodded at me. He has this look. People say he doesn't smile. I've seen him smile many times, probably because I bribe him. But, and he just kind of gave me the nod like, okay, this is interesting. And again, back to the marketing minds, they kind of, we don't know if we want her around that long. Like, that could be scary. And, they kind of said to the coach, like, Coach, I don't know if this would be a good thing. Like, could this be too distracting to have her, in all of training camp? And Coach just looked at him and he's like, heck no. With an attitude like that, I think she'd be the best thing for these boys and give them a kick in the butt. And that's when it really became real. So I've been playing with the boys ever since.
Jen, we could end up taking this to so many different levels right now. I mean, first of all, you're 36 years old. Okay, most professional athletes at 36 years old are retired.
Especially running
Unless
backs.
they're Ray Lewis.
Yeah, except Ray Lewis, right?
I share a brand of crazy with him. We're going to bottle it and sell it in stores coming very soon.
You will
It'll be better than deer antler.
You will make a
dun,
billion.
Dun, dun.
Or that hog wild for all my hunting friends out there. Yeah, you're 5'2", you're 130 pounds. You're not a kicker. You're not a place holder. Thank you. You actually run the ball and you go up against 245-pound linebackers that want to take your head off.
Yeah, and I think they want it to be like a mantle, like a trophy on their mantle. Like
sure,
they could take it off. Oh, she's kind of cute here.
Yeah.
I won that. I earned that.
Yeah, but then when you take a pounding like that, then you get up and you look at them and you say, I'm
that all
going to
you
do it
got?
again.
Yeah, is that all you got? I mean, and I think that was, in thinking about it, I think that was as much convincing myself as like they were, because that was the very first hit. And, I could hear like all the guys kind of going crazy, and I was like, yeah, but I'm back up. Like, is that all you got? Like, is that it? Because I can do this.
That's the quote that's rolling around, is that you jump back up and said, "Is that all you got?"
It is.
We're gonna take a quick break right here on the AnE show and come right back with the lovely Jen Welter right here on the AnE show on 1190 KFXR.
Very cool, very cool.
Commercial break.
And
Direct listeners to our website to see a pic of Jim.
Text Tim, tell him call now.
It's calling right now.
the bad on his makeup.
Is he calling in?
Yeah, he was supposed to be here. He called me this morning, said he had,
Yeah, I mean, we confirmed and reconfirmed.
What do you think?
he's coaching his son's basketball game
Oh.
out in DeSoto.
Charge for staff on it.
No, you weren't here last week. Jim called in last week.
Oh, good, okay.
Trying to settle us down.
Yeah, it went pretty left last week.
Yeah, it was funny because I mean, it was.
Were you supposed to be the calmer downer?
And
No.
somebody
No.
all of a sudden says, and I hope Doc's.
Oh, you were the worst one?
And all of a sudden you hear Ben go on the air, he goes, "Hey guys, he's on the phone right now."
Oh, you didn't hear that show?
No, that's fine.
We talked, Ben came in, he said, y'all have the world record. You talk automotive for 30 seconds.
Are y'all doing anything with with the Channel 47 deal on Friday, with the Texas Independence Day?
I don't know what that is.
I'm getting on the video.
What is it?
Friday.
What?
We're shooting for 4 hours out at Fairview.
Oh, really? Hey, you're, where in
I'll do it
Fairview?
in a second break.
At Texas Atlantic Cup.
Oh,
We can do it for right now.
and are you guys a part of that?
I'm gonna do it here.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
because there's
I'll come
certain
by.
things we'll do. So, yeah, that
But
one
no, our
as
show doesn't
well.
start till March 7th, so then it's all
I just had to put that, so.
If
as
you
soon as 10
and your
o'clock comes,
host want to come by, I got an extra 5-minute segment y'all don't have. I can't do anything. It's the last day of the month for me.
But then,
Yeah, with your thumb.
You're gonna have to go pick up Drew too.
Okay.
But that's how I got an extra 5-minute segment.
Yeah.
If y'all wanna go, y'all could go on and pitch your show.
Yeah, totally. That'd be fun. Yeah. Like KTXQ
Huh?
on 47?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So he's on the line.
30 seconds.
Did Ben jump off of
So do we have Tim?
What should he say?
18 seconds.
Do you have Tim on the phone? Okay.
I've got mine too.
I'm gonna kick right into it and put him on, okay?
You're listening to the Automotive News and Entertainment Show, right here on 1190 AM.
All right, welcome back to the AnE show. And right now, on the phone calling in, we have the Heisman Trophy winning and soon-to-be Hall of Famer Tim Brown. Good morning, Tim. You with us?
I am here.
Tim, how you doing this morning?
Good.
Good to talk to you again. Look, talk to us a little bit about what's going on with the Revolution. Obviously, we have Jen here. We're talking to her this morning. And what are your, as the general manager of the Texas Revolution, how do you think the team's looking so far this season?
Well, we pulled out a big win last night over a very good Cedar Rapids team, so that was very encouraging to see. We hadn't been able to get a whole bunch of practices in because of one reason or another, and but the team has really come together. I had a chance to speak with the coach Coach Williams after the game last night, and he thinks we're only going to get better the more reps we get in. So right now it's looking pretty good, man. We just got to keep guys injury free as much as we possibly can, and keep this thing going.
Is there anybody on the team from a player standpoint who's jumped out and surprised you at this moment?
Well, I think right now Solomon Jr. is making a whole lot of plays for us, man. He is not only returning kicks for us and scoring that way, but on the defensive end, he picked off 2 or 3 passes last night and returned 1 for a touchdown. So he's making a whole bunch of plays at the right time. I mean, his pick last night was perfect timing. So, I think right now, he is the guy that is really, showing out and making great plays for the team.
Well, this team over the last couple of years has kind of been, a little bit up and down, kind of stuck in mediocrity, very similar to our other football team here in Dallas. But, do you think that we have a team that can contend this year?
Yeah, I think last year we got off to a really good start and just had some issues, with coach and players that, anytime you have those kind of issues in such an intimate environment as a IFL team, where you only talk about 24 players, it makes it pretty tough. So we corrected that, as far as the coaching situation, brought in Chris Williams, who is a man's man and one of these coaches that when he speaks, players listen to him. So he has great respect of the guys on the team, and that's what you like to see. So don't foresee that issue being there this year. And so now it comes down to playing good football. And Chris and the staff has done an excellent job so far. Again, with the limited practices we've gotten in, but won the game last week. Little tester game for us, and then come back this week and win a pretty big game. So, I think we're on the right road, man, and we just got to keep one game at a time, keep going.
Tim, you're a 1987 Heisman Trophy winner. You're a 9-time Pro Bowler. You were part of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team. Now, Tommy, the president of the Texas Revolution, has kind of put a little bug in my ear more than once about a little rumor rolling around about you. And I wanted to take this opportunity to either confirm or deny this rumor that there's a possibility of you suiting up this season and playing a game.
Well, I've told Tommy, first of all, he doesn't have an insurance policy big enough. And second of all, it would take the salary of everybody in the stadium to get me to do that. And if he can figure out a way to do that, we may be able to talk. But, I certainly understand what Tommy is trying to do. He's trying to, get as much attention as possible to the team. And look, I'm in great physical shape right now. And there's no doubt in my mind that, physically I could probably, play a couple snaps. But mentally, I'm telling myself, "Are you out of your mind to even be thinking about that?" So I have to honestly say that I don't foresee that happening. And Tommy is a great, great persuader of men. I've been in many, many meetings with them, trying to help close some sponsorship deals. But I don't know if he's going to be able to close this deal. I can tell you that.
Tim, this is the spin doctor, and Dr. Jen Welter is here, so she actually heard something. I saw her eyes kind of light up when you said that in your mind you're telling yourself that you might be crazy. So you're saying that there is a chance that you might be playing. Is that correct?
Look, I don't even want that door to be halfway open at this particular point, because it would take a miraculous change of mind at this point for me to consider that. But
Tim, I didn't
Tommy
put
and
that
I
on
work
you.
together.
I
We're
just gotta
always
clear
trying to
that
come
up.
up with something to help the team and to help folks and to bring fans. And if I got well, I'm not going to say that. But
Come on,
we're
Tim.
always trying to come up with stuff. Let me just say that.
Tim, I was going to say, I did not say that, although I did see him last night at the stadium
got to talk to him briefly, and he definitely does look like he could hit the field at any time. I mean,
Absolutely.
Oh, there's
ridiculous.
no question. There is absolutely no question
Well,
that
I can tell you, it didn't help that last summer, you know, the the NFL had their 25th Madden flag football game thing, and I went out there, I won MVP and scored 6 touchdowns and played defense and offense. So now obviously that's flag football, but you know, running around, Troy Aikman told me, he was my quarterback. He was like, Tim, look, man, he said, I do this every week, man. He said, I'm telling you, you can still go and play. You should really go back and play.
I'm telling you, you got to get out there,
I
Tim.
say,
We'd
Troy,
love to
when
see
they
you.
start playing flag football in the NFL, I'll be the first one to sign up.
We got to see you out there. Hey, Tim, one of my favorite stories that I've heard is about you. You were in the band in high school. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And so your mom did not know that you started playing.
No. You know, my freshman year, I was in the marching band, you know, so we marched at the varsity football games. And so my sophomore year, I actually made the varsity team. So she thought I was still just going to march in a band. So it wasn't until I started scoring a lot of touchdowns that people started writing articles about me in the paper. And one of our friends called and said, your son's in the paper. And, of course, she came to me, what did you do? You get in some trouble? But she was surprised when she picked up the paper and they were talking about me being a sophomore sensation in the Dallas area. But, yeah, that's a true story, man. Mom never wanted, even when I got to Notre Dame, she asked, because Notre Dame has this thing that, they did back then, I don't know if they still do, that they consider their scholarships to be academic scholarships and not athletic scholarships. So theoretically, you can come there. You have to practice one day. But after that, if you decide you don't want to play football, you don't have to play. You still have your scholarship. So she was like, well, maybe he can play for like a week and then be in the band, you know. So she was still on that band thing even once I got to Notre Dame.
When did your mom finally come around? Was it after you ended up starring for the Raiders, after you retired? When did she finally say, you know, Timmy, you probably did a pretty good decision here?
Well, when I handed her the key to her brand new house, that's when she came around. So that's that was in '89 or '90 or something like that. So she was like, "Oh, well, maybe you can keep playing football." So, yeah, she only came to one game in my 27 years of playing football, man. Going back to junior high school, the only time she came was the night I caught my 1,000th catch in Oakland, and I didn't even know she was there. The Raiders had flown my whole family, and I didn't even know that they were there.
That had to be a fantastic night. Let me ask you a question. Back when you were playing with the Los Angeles and Oakland Raiders, and I can't remember what the number was. I remember we were talking about this. You were having a conversation with Drew Pearson and about how many quarterbacks that you played with out west. What was that number again?
I had 19 quarterbacks with the Raiders, and 3 in my 1 year at Tampa. So I actually caught 3 passes from all 3 of those quarterbacks at Tampa. So I caught passes from 22 different quarterbacks throughout my career.
And that's kind of unbelievable. I mean, it just shows you the talent that Tim had. I mean, to be the NFL's 6th all-time leading receiver with really no continuity at quarterback. And Tim, I mean, that's a big compliment to you and what you did in your career, and how much we enjoyed watching you when you played. And okay, we've dispelled the rumor that you're going to come back and play with the Revolution.
Not 100%.
Well, Tommy's been telling me this for 2 years, so I just figured that this was a chance to actually get Tim's side of the story on this.
He just needs a closer.
Hey, Tim, I got to tell you this. And this is even crazier. This is much crazier than asking you to suit up. Tommy's offered to let me suit up and play, and that's even worse. I mean,
I don't know which one I'd pay more money to see Tim or to see Doc.
Every time it came up last night. I mean, it's not a time that I'm with Tommy that it doesn't come up. And I mean, if we go to a suite and somebody says, Tim, wow, you look like you're in great shape, and that's Tommy's opening and say, yeah, I'm trying to get him to go play. I mean, it comes up every week. So It'll never die with Tommy. Maybe when I come in there on a cane or something, he'll realize I can't play football anymore. So.
We just need to get you like a fat suit, Tim. Come in
Right.
looking like you're out of
Right.
shape one day, and maybe that'll protect you from
No
Tommy.
doubt.
Put you in one of
No
those sumo wrestler blow-up suits and just say, man, there's just no way I can't do it. Then he'd want to put you on the
It's over.
defensive line, I'm sure.
He probably would.
Right.
But, hey, Tim, we want to thank you very much for calling in and spending some time with us, and all the luck in the world to the Revolution. We'll be there. Of course, we're big backers of the Revolution, along with our sponsors, Dodge City McKinney and Delivery Max. So good luck this season.
I appreciate that. I just want to say before I go, man, that you guys are sitting next to somebody who is, I think, as each day goes on, garnering a lot of respect from not only the football world, but from America, period. I think what Dr. Jim Welter is doing is incredible, and her toughness, man, is it's just amazing at this point. And we're all waiting until that time she gets an end zone. I think everybody in America is going to be celebrating. It's going to be a beautiful time.
I totally agree. Thank you again,
guys.
Tim. We'll talk to
care.
you soon.
Thanks,
Okay,
Tim.
good.
Take care. All right, we're going to go to break again and come back with more from Dr. Jen Welter right here on the AnE Show on 1190 KFXR.
That's a perfect teaser to get right back into where we had left off with Jen on the first segment. That's perfect.
Actually, we were talking to him about 2 minutes in the whole life total. So
Really?
I was kind of like, when he said that, I was like, that's more words than we've ever exchanged.
Well,
Wow.
and that's what I'm saying is that
But I mean, he's such a good guy. Like everyone I know too just raves about him. Like Spud Webb's a good friend of mine.
Right.
And he was like,
they use it here in Dallas.
yeah. And he was like, man, Tim's just such an awesome guy. I think he was, I don't know if he came to the game last night, but he was supposed to. Because he was
Right.
like, Jim, I'm coming out there, da-da-da.
Nice.
How you
Spud
doing?
Webb.
Okay, kiddo.
That's
Nice.
funny. We were talking about that. We were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier because James was like, she's 5', 230 pounds. I said, the 5', 230 pounds isn't the issue here.
Yeah.
That's not what anybody. That's not what
Well, everybody's
everybody's
saying it's
talking about.
female, but I think there's so many stories here. It's 36.
But I mean, like I said, you got guys that have been, Spud Webb's a perfect example.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I'll tell you, I played basketball with Spud Webb back in.
In the day.
Yeah, they played, I was on the court.
Right.
Right.
But, the guy how many times could he have been told, you're not going to the NBA?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You can't play in college, you can't play, the guy had a 12-year career or something?
And I've
Won a
shouted
slam
him out.
dunk contest.
Yeah, I've shouted him out many times for that. But, I mean, there will give you a comparison. That's Spud next to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, Spud makes me
Exactly.
look
Yeah. Exactly. That's
tiny. And that's Scooter Magruder next to him. And we, like, all good friends.
Oh, that's funny.
We're literally sitting at a table one day, and, I had one of my championship rings on, and Spud's just an instigator. I mean, he loves to see how people react. Like, he doesn't want to be the one out front. He's sitting there, and he's like, oh, you see my girl's ring, da-da-da. And this waitress, we're at Twin Peaks or whatever, she
He
goes,
always goes there.
he goes, oh yeah,
I mean,
and
that's
he'll
what I've
post up,
seen,
yeah.
yeah.
And,
1
and
minute.
oh, I'll tell you later. But
Actually, we may be putting this one on air. if
yeah,
it's
it's a
okay.
good one. It's
All
a
right.
good one.
That'll be good.
So we got some Spud Webb stories.
Do you have any Nancy Lieberman stories?
No.
No, I played basketball with her.
Can we talk about that? We can talk about Spud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick into it and let you go.
Yeah.
Run with it, all right?
Well, because he was supposed to go to the game last night. I think he was there, but he's, he grew up with Tim Brown, so that's. a
Hey,
good
and we got
reason.
Yeah.
2 segments with a big batch of nothing, so chime in.
Yeah.
Typical.
I was gonna say it's always an hour of nothing.
I could talk about the cruise.
It's like an hour-long Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, genius. A show about
I
that.
could talk about movies too if you want another movie. Might do like a movie.
We talked about that last
Oh,
week
did we?
twice.
Did?
Yeah, we took a whole segment of it.
Nice.
Jim took her son.
What's this about Space Jam 2?
You're tuned in to the Automotive News and Entertainment Show, right here on 1190 AM.
Welcome back to the AnE Show. Glad to be back with the crew and have Dr. Jen Welter here with us. We were just having some conversations and talking about, one of the big things that's been made about Jen playing professional football with the men is that she's 5'2" and 130 pounds, and we were talking about some other people of similar stature, and one of the names that came up, we were talking about Spud Webb. Spud's what, 5'7"?
No, maybe
If
5'5", right?
He's taller than me. That's all I know.
I just saw a picture.
I think that's why he keeps me around, because I make him look tall.
And the funny thing is, we were having this conversation about it because he was one of the guys that I brought up. I'm like, I'm sure. How many times was Spud told, "You're never going to play basketball in college," and then he made it there. "You're never going to make it in the pros." He made it there, had a great career, even won a slam dunk competition. Size is not necessarily doesn't measure the athlete. I mean, it's the heart, it's the determination, it's all of that. And it turns out, Jen, you know Spud.
I do. Spud's great. He's been a good friend of mine for years. Him and actually another undersized athlete would be Scooter Magruder, played in NFL for a very long time. And just to tell you, I mean, those guys have been so supportive of me throughout my career. Scooter's been out to multiple games, and he would always, kind of chastise the other guys, like, "You haven't seen Jen play? Jen balls. Like, you don't get it. Like, she is a real ball player." But Spud and Scooter have been good friends for a long time, and I think Spud was out at our game last night. I mean, I had chatted to him before. He grew up with Tim Brown and speaks so highly of him because, as I said to you guys, I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Tim as much as some of the people assume that we had. I mean, I think that everything he says is so powerful that you don't need that many words from Tim to really be impacted by him. But Spud texted me before coming to the game the other day, and it made me think of a story with him and Scooter and I. We're all sitting at a table, and we're eating, and, Spud just likes to kind of stir the pot. I mean, he's not your front person. He kind of like a little puppeteer from behind to see how people react to things. And, I was wearing one of my championship rings, and he said to the waitress, he said, "Oh, did you see my girl's ring? Da-da-da." She's like, "Oh, that's awesome. Is that like a Super Bowl ring?" And she's like, "Scooter, you're so nice that you let her wear your ring." Oh, boys didn't like that one too much. Scooter's like, "Oh, no. That's her ring. Jen earned that ring." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know the cheerleaders got rings."
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And the boys are just loving it at this point. They're just, and that's why Spud does it. He loves to see how people will react to my rings because, obviously they don't expect it. And Scooter goes, No, not cheerleading. She plays football. As a matter of fact, didn't you say how much you loved football? And she's like, "Oh yeah, I love football, but I'm far too little. I could never play football." And he's like, "Really?" We are all sitting down. So she has no idea how small I am. He's like, "Jen, baby girl, how tall are you again?" And I said, "I'm 5'2", Scoot." And he goes, "And how tall are you?" She's like, 5'4". And he's like, "Your dreams have come true. You can play football." And she was kind of like, "Oh," and kind of ran away, just, "Oh, I must be needed over there elsewhere." And Spud and Scooter just kind of looked at each other, and they're like, "Wrong table to say you're too small to do anything." Ugh. And it's just been one of my stories, like, that is one of my favorites and near and dear to my heart because it just speaks so clearly to what most people think. I mean, yeah, there's a prototype for how anything should be done, but you're talking about the norm, okay? I don't personally fit into many boxes, and I don't like to. I like to say I like to be the brightest crayon outside of the box, not the brightest crayon in the box. I like to color outside of lines. And, Spud Webb is somebody who defied all odds because of his work ethic, his intensity, and just, his heart. Scooter, same thing. And I'd like to say, that I've been able to do the same thing.
Well, we've talked about a few things as far as we've gone into heart. Tim was talking about just a while ago about mentally being, physically he's in shape. He can get out there and play and show those 20-year-olds something or two. You have not only a strong heart, but tell us about the mental aspect it takes to play at such a high level.
I think heart and the mind are the two things I bring to the Texas Revs. It is a younger team, which is, it's exciting. I'm definitely, probably the most experienced football player on the team, which is interesting to think because it's such a different element for me. I'm used to being a stat leader on the team. I'm used to being like the beast, like, oh, that's Jen Welter, da-da-da. And now, I'm not. I'm on the other side of the football, first of all, which, I still have so much to learn on offense. My teammates laugh. They're like, Jen, you don't like offense. We know this. You don't like to run the football. I'm like, no, I just like to hit people. And so that's a very different transition. But in terms of this game, I can look at it and like with some of those guys, I can say, hey, did you know you're doing X, Y, and Z? Now, I might not be able to physically go out and, be the linebacker, say, or the D end on that team because physically I'm not there. But mentally, I'm still the competitor that I would be in the female game, and I'm taking it and translating it. And even seeing some of those guys be like, oh, okay, yeah, you saw that? Okay, I'm going to try that. And look at it. And, like guys like Brian Ellis, big, amazing player, right? Big guy, all heart, even wears the visor, just looks like a beast on the field. And to be able to tap him and be like, hey, if you rip through just a little quicker, stayed lower, and just drove his outside shoulder, that guy has bad feet. He's not going to be able to turn with him. You will own him. And then he goes out and owns him, and he's like, slapping my shoulder. He's like, man, that worked. And he's looking at the other guys. He's like, man, Jen's a beast. She knows football, and those are the things that you see really coming together on this team because it's earning that respect. And that's the mental side of the game. I'm a great competitor. At the same point, if I got hit the same way that I got hit, everybody's, oh, these toughness, these hits you got. And I laid there for even 5 seconds. It wouldn't be the story that it is today. The guys would have said, oh, we owned her. You know what I mean? Instead, I knew going in that I had 3 things I really needed to accomplish. Take the handoff, secure the ball, and get up as fast as you can. Because it was getting up that was the biggest part to me. I'm less worried about the end zone than everybody else is. I think that'll come. It comes with timing, and it comes with, as Tim said, we've had a limited amount of practices. What most people don't understand is I've literally gotten to practice running back 4 days. So, challenge me all you want on oh, she doesn't have vision. She can't do this. She can't do that. Right. It's been 4 days. So maybe give me a little more than 4 days and I'll be more like a running back. But you can question that. You just can't question the toughness that it takes there. And I've proven that the toughness isn't an issue. And that was the biggest thing. I've had some really awesome comments on social media that I tried not to read, but I have a personal favorite, and I think you guys will like it. One guy said, and a friend of mine pointed this out because I wasn't reading it, but she read it. She's going to die and or get pregnant. And I thought, wow.
At the same time.
That is some serious thrust power right there. Wow. Let's just put your hips into it to the extent that we create immaculate conception and death all in one move. I was just like, huh.
That's pretty powerful.
I've hit people really hard before, but I didn't know that was possible.
I think probably only from Joel the Gorilla.
Doing what I
Hey, I am telling you. But, and she had a great comment on it. It wasn't like she can do this, that. She's like, I don't like to comment, but I couldn't resist. She's like, I just had to type in, and here's hoping you're sterile. And I was like, yes, let's hope that cannot reproduce ever in this lifetime. But, we've gotten a good laugh out of that one, and that's
in one of your blogs you talk about the lovers and haters.
Oh yeah,
tell us a little bit about that.
There's both in sports, and I really had to think about this because I am a very empathetic person. I'm a doctor. I'm way too good at putting myself in other people's shoes and trying to evaluate those things. But I think as a kid, especially for young kids, we really want to be liked. We really want to fit in. We don't want somebody to dislike this. And a lot of the times the kids will minimize their differences so that, they don't make anybody look bad. We want to fit in. We want to do all these things. So we won't highlight our abilities to that extent because whenever you're doing something outstanding, that's when somebody tries to knock you down. And I thought about sports because I was getting, lots of hate mail. And I really just broke it down to, if you're an athlete and you play really, really well in any game, the best you can hope for is that half of the place will love you. Like, that's the best you can hope for because you're beating the other team. So if you're really good and you whoop up on the other team, all of your team and your fans will love you. And the rest of them will hate on you because you beat them. And so that's kind of the message. Like, I just wanted people to kind of take my experience and maybe get a little bravery out of it, and to realize that no matter what you do, when you're doing it well, you're going to create some enemies. And the only way to avoid haters completely is to do nothing at all. Is to just be insignificant, because then nobody knows you and nobody knows you to hate you.
Right.
But when you're doing stuff and you're taking a risk and you're in the limelight, people are always going to hate. And mostly it's their own insecurity and jealousy. And I think that this that I'm going through is a good opportunity to kind of empower other people, because they can see it. Well, yeah, everybody hates her for that. Well, okay. But a lot of people love her for it. So maybe, just maybe, it's worth taking that risk and kind of making a few people mad along the way.
Well, with that thought, we're going to take our final break, and we're going to come back with more from Jen Welter right here on the AnE Show on 1190 KFXR.
Sure.
What a great message.
Yeah.
That was a cool message.
Thank you.
It really was.
I like it.
It's caused me to have a lot of reflection, because if I would sit there and listen to all that stuff, I'd be balled up in the corner, like, oh my God, they hate me, they hate me, they hate me. But, at the same time, it's like, okay, the only way you're going to avoid that at all is just to do nothing, And everybody, oh, well, what if she fumbles? She's going to get in there and fumble. And I thought, well, the only way to avoid a fumble with all certainty is to just not play. It's
Right.
those things that, like, and if my experience can give other people those kind of messages, then it's worth it. And I mean, I think that that's why the guys on my team have bought in too, because they know me. Like, I put everything right back on them. I'm like, you know what? Because there's a lot of young guys and they want to elevate. And I say, you know what my goal is? I want to get everybody watching this freaking team, and you ball out and you get the hell out of here then. And they're like, Jen, that's weird. And I'm like, no, it's not weird at all. What am I going to do from this? Am I going to elevate? Yep, sure, I'm going to be in the NFL next year. Right. No, it's not going to happen. But if I can get you those looks, because a lot of these guys played in smaller schools or didn't have a film, didn't have their training program, said, people are watching this team, they're watching this team. And if I'm taking one snap or 100, they're watching this team. So you got to ball out, and get out of here. And it's such a great opportunity to elevate, so many different people. And I think that that's why the story's caught on. It's not me running the football, obviously.
Right.
Right. It is, because if that's what we're looking for, then I'm going to need more than 4 practices.
Let me get that video.
Say it again, what you
It'll
want me
be,
to say?
I'm
You know,
Jen.
and I did come in dressed for radio, by the
Hey,
way.
you're good. I'm Jen Welter, and I listen to the AnE Show, or I always listen to the AnE Show, or something. Give us a plug.
Put your finger on the lens.
I got it.
1 minute.
You got 1 minute to think. Put you on. I'm putting you under pressure. Tell me when you're ready.
Hey, this
Wait,
is...
let me. Ready?
See,
You didn't tell me you were ready.
All
Here
star.
we go.
Hey, this is Jen Welter, and I am officially addicted to the AnE Show. I can't get enough.
Nice. Thank you.
See, I couldn't do one of the cheesies. I don't like those.
I like that one better.
And I listen to the AnE Show. And you should not if you like a message like this.
Coming your way, Sue.
All right.
You can go to Texas Rev's website for tickets, right? Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're going to string me up.
You're tuned in to the Automotive News and Entertainment Show. right here on 1190 AM.
All right, welcome back to the AnE show. And one thing we want to point out is if you're interested in coming out, and we want you to come out and watch Jen play for the Texas Revolution, just go to texasrevs.com. You can get your tickets right there. Jen, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, and I know you kind of touched on a little bit, that you've only really had 4 practices under your belt as far as a running back, and you talk about the mental side of the game. I mean, you were a linebacker. And so you were always looking for the person carrying the ball, and you were looking to hit the person carrying the ball. Now, what about the mindset, the reverse mindset of, okay, now I have the ball, and I need to get away from the guys who want to
very
kick
bad
me.
at that, actually. The first day we did running back drills, it was so funny because, they were talking about, like, the lunge, and we're supposed to go opposite. See, I see the lunge, and I'm used to that's the tackle. So even my vision sometimes is backwards on things because I need to recondition. And knowing that from the mental side, like I really do, because and I would joke with the guys, I'm like, oh, that's a really bad drill for me. And they're like, why? And I'm like, well, I was taught once he makes his move, that's when you go into them, not cut away from them. So there really is a big shift mentally, and learning how to read blockers and read all that stuff. It comes with experience, and it comes with instinct and reaction time. Like, I don't think a lot when I'm on defense because I can just see it. I've always been somebody who beat everyone with my speed and, reads the plays so fast. Well, I don't have that right now. So, not only am I dealing with, obviously, I'm a little bigger than everybody else, right? But no, but I'm also very cognitive. Like, you must do X, Y, and Z. And great athletes automate that process. You're not thinking. And that's really where the practice effect comes in. Just knowing and seeing and feeling the game, as opposed to, I must run here. I am robot, and that's kind of how I feel right now. So I'm looking forward to just getting fluent.
Do you think that you'll be able to catch on to this much quicker? I mean, having the defensive mindset and being able to, you're reading the blockers anyway. Do you think it's going to come pretty quick? Just kind of putting yourself on the reverse side and being able to quickly read, okay, that linebacker is going to do this because this play is going this way. I would think that could help you pretty quick.
I think it will too. I need more than 4 practices to do that, first of all. It's also about being with a consistent line. I mean, we just got our team to pretty much be solidified. So there's also the element of just knowing how people play. I use the example of I had D-line players that I played with for a number of years, and we just knew if she does this, I'm going to do this. We didn't have to talk about it. It was just like, oh, if she bites hard, then let's just twist. And those are the fluencies that come in football. And that comes with a consistency of people. And so that consistency also with learning a new game, because arena is very different. So even on the defense, like the linebackers are very different to read in arena than they ever were in the regular game. Like they can't advance. I was always a linebacker who, would make you think I was going here, shift and move. And these ones are kind of landlocked in certain things. So I'm still even learning what it looks like to play arena ball. But I'm getting it. I started to feel really comfortable understanding what our defenders could do last night. And that's why I was so excited. Like when I was talking to Brian Ellis and some of those guys, like, hey, if you do this, da-da-da. But I wouldn't have even thought that way when I was still trying to learn what the heck they were doing on the defense. So I think that as I learn the game, it will come very quickly because, I am a smart player. That's always what I've been. It just takes reps and a little fluency and consistency.
Do you consider yourself a role model for other female athletes, young female athletes, being able to do what you've accomplished?
I don't think you can consider yourself a role model. I think that's really what other people say and define. If somebody looks at you and that's something they want to do. What I do like to say is that I like to highlight the possibilities of positive females, because I think too often, in our society, especially with the horrible wife series of reality television, we tend to portray women as a byproduct of the success of someone else. And, that basically tells our young girls to just make sure they look really good and marry really well and then ultimately act really badly and you'll be famous. And that to me is the anti-role model. So if I'm anti that and that inspires somebody, then great. But I would feel like a jerk to be like, yes, I am a role model. You should be me. Now, I really wouldn't tell a lot of people to be me, but I would say take from me the fact that I want little girls to know that they can do anything and that it doesn't have to be a matter of an either or, like either you are pretty or you're smart or you're an athlete. No, really, you can do all of those things. We talk about a Renaissance man often, right? Oh, he does this and he does that and he's so awesome. There is no equivalent term. Like you don't ever hear anybody say, oh, well, she's a Renaissance woman. No, in the Renaissance, women weren't allowed to do anything. So, I would like them to see that. And if that helps somebody, elevate themselves, then that's great.
Well, my belief is by, reading your story and talking to you and everything else, that you're not only an inspiration to women, but I mean, just boys, girls, I mean, all the way across the board, that, no matter how many times somebody tells you something can't be done, I think you've proven it. You've definitely broken down some barriers, and I think that's, fantastic. I asked Tim this question. I'll ask you the same question. And I know you guys haven't had a lot of practices, but, I mean, what do you think of the team overall? I mean, how do you think it's in this short period of time, the season just kicking off, how do you see things coming together? Do you see this team as being something that can kind of gel and go far this year?
I do. I think that Coach Williams has done a great job of bringing in the right type of guy. He said to me early on that he believed in the character of all the players that he brought in, and that he believed that even me being there would really bring them together and kind of bring out that protective element in them. And that if he didn't believe that he had those type of guys, he would never put me in this situation. And that to me just spoke to a very high level of the character guys on this team. Character is what makes two people who are physically equal. That's what makes the difference. This person's going to elevate because he's going to dig deep, and this person's going to crumble because he doesn't really want to get hit. And the guys on the Texas Revolution, like, they are all characters, but they have character, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, Frankie Solomon Jr., who Tim, highlighted, he is hilarious.
He had an awesome game last night, too.
Oh, my gosh. He was balling out. And I was actually giving him a hard time because I had said I wanted 3. And he got 3.
Yep.
And I was like, can I be greedy? At halftime, I was like, can I get one more, Frankie? And I actually wanted to point out, like, we have big solo and little solo, because we have, Solomon, and he had 5 touchdowns?
Last one.
Yeah. I mean, and, so
Joel was getting beer at that time.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you put him on the spot.
I mean, but at the moment, like, I mean, those 2 guys, like, I was like, I need one more. And he's like, okay, I got you. But here's the thing. Here's how you know it's a character guy, right? He's doing all this. We're joking around. Solomon was one of the first guys to be like, hey, Jen, I got your back. And he's like, I'm going to be the smartest guy out here. And I was like, really? Why is that? And he's like, you see who's right next to you, right? I'm going to be in all the pictures. And I just started laughing. But then he made sure to, like, introduce me to his mom. Like, when she was there, he's like, man, my mom's a big fan of you. And I said, well, you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of your mom. And I said, Mama, you did a great job with this one because he's been supportive of me since day one. And I've met a lot of the guys' moms, and that's something, like, they're like, Jen, my mom wanted to meet you. Well, guess what that says? That says that these guys have taken a girl in and, like, really stood up for her. Those are character guys, and it comes from your family. And I think that this team is really in the process of becoming a family, and a family is what you fight for. A family is the reason why we could get down by 14 points and then come back like it was nothing. And this is a brand new team. They haven't gotten a chance to gel yet. I think our quarterback, Jimmy, he's great. I saw it very early, and I think,
well, we got to go.
He's a true leader. Yeah.
Hey, Jen, we want to thank you for coming in. Everybody get out to the Texas Revolution games. We're looking for some more football. If you're looking for it, go to TexasRevs.com, get your tickets. Want to thank our sponsors today, Dodge City McKinney and Delivery Max. Look forward to seeing you here next week on the AnE Show right here on 1190 KFXR.
I'm sorry.
It's the Oscar music.
Get out of here.
That's like the only time everybody has to have headphones is like at the that they can't roll that one.
Phenomenal.
Oh, good.
Did you need to get a couple of?
Oh, you guys can get whatever you need to go. I've got another 25 minutes, and I've got, like I said, 2 terabytes, so I'm good. And whatever you guys want to do, promo-wise, whatever.
Sure.
We can set that up and just let it roll.
Yeah. We gotta get you on the,
Let me go give this to.
Yeah, would love to.
That's what I told you.
yeah.
You need to get with her and have her on and have her, I think.
Yeah, we could go out and maybe film something in the practice or part of the game or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love to.